All right, rise and shine, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, fishing accomplices. Good morning and welcome back to fishing. So we are still in the last third of June. I have a very short window to fish today. So we are fishing close to home and we are fishing for striped bass. And last time I was in this neck of the woods, it went fairly well. I've heard some really good things, so we're gonna try and give it a go today. I have, as I said, a very short window to fish. I have to be out of the water by 10. Right now it's about 5:15 in the morning, so we got in and out pretty quick. Additionally, right now we're getting in end phases of outgoing tide. It's about to bottom out, and then it's going to start rushing in. So that's the tide we're fishing up until about 10 a.m. Water temp's about 74.4 degrees, so it's warm, but I'm in shallow too right now, so that's probably going to get closer to high 60s, low 70s once I'm into deeper water. But we're going to try and do what we can to make these stripers bite on a lure. We're going to try, trolling on our way out, and if we do find schools, we're going to try and work some finesse stuff and jig them, cast them, whatever. But the goal is to try and find them A, and then get them without using bait B, or trolling endlessly. Nothing wrong with either, but considering I don't have a lot of time, I'd like to make the most of it. So that is what I'm here to do, and please stick around, it's true, because it's time to get some fishing accomplished. Here we go. Let's see if they'll hit the big stuff first. Get it right down there. Look at that. That is what we want to see. See if there's any big ones down there. The small presentation. They are being picky. They're here. Found them a lot faster this time, but can't really make them bite. Though we haven't tried too much stuff yet, but let's see if we can get on a little bit thicker. It's a little weird because it's wind versus tide right now, so I'm not getting quite the path through this that I want to get. Here they are. Try one more cast with this. Let me mix this. Never mind. Might be alright. Some good head shakes. Good fish, but we are fishing light tackle, so who knows. I'll speak of that later. Definitely a nice fish. Look at this fish finder screen. It's a nice fish. Not sure why my other GoPro isn't working right now, but I'll have to wait. Yeah, that's a nice fish. Damn. Might be approaching 40, 30s, high 30s. Come on. Oh, yes, sir. That is what we are talking about, folks. Look at that. Oh. Quick measure, we'll put her back. Get a proper revive. Looking at about 35-ish. Really fat. Do a little revive. I think it's pretty much good to go. Got the fins up, it's biting down, but we'll keep going. Good. All right, one down. Solid fish to start off the day. I'm hoping that we can keep these fish biting the small presentations. It's a lot of fun, even if I don't get anything necessarily too huge. 35 inch is a lot of fun in this setup though, but you might have noticed me fumbling around. This GoPro, for whatever reason, the SD card in there was not working properly, so I had to switch it out. I know it's petty stuff, might not seem like a big deal, but if this camera goes out, I use that one as a backup. Plus it's nice to get some stills if we can. So fortunately I have another SD card lying around. It's not quite as big, so I can be very sparing with it, but it's more than enough what I need it for today. So let's see if we can get back out there and find some more solid fish. Yeah, so after getting that fish, I obviously tried doing the same thing to see if I can replicate the same results, casting that little Elias split tail smasher, but it wasn't really working. I then basically went through everything I had, big, small, you know, we're talking flutter spoons, we're talking that same Elias shad I was trolling with in the beginning, smaller versions of that Elias shad, smaller presentations. Tried pretty much everything I thought could work, and I was marking fish the whole time, but they were just really picky. There weren't really that many big schools of bait around, but every so often I would see some bunker moving through. So after about a good hour of trying to make these fish hit a lure, I decided to switch things up and try pursuing some bunker. Tide is approaching slack, so I think honestly my best shot of getting some bass right now is to get some bunker. I don't think I'm going to get much of anything while this tide is like this on a lure, so hearing them, they're not crazy thick, but I think there's a school right in front of us, so let's see if we can get a few. This one. Perfect. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this mesh backpack that I usually hold all my lures in, all my plastic. Throw all the plastic in the back and collect a few of these guys so we don't need to waste any time. We got 2 bunker, and I could keep pushing for more, but I don't want to waste what little time I have just looking for bait that may or may not be there. So we're gonna try. We got our circle hook, bait caster set up. I think I got some bunker right in front of me right now. Just keep an eye on it, but I always struggle with this, but hopefully today will be different. Got our live lining set up, and we're just gonna go right to where we were fishing before and see if we can make those bass bite. All right, let's see if there's anyone home that's still hungry. Once that tide starts moving incoming, I might be compelled to try a lure again, but I think my best bet right now is just to fish bait, and there's still fish here, so let's see how they feel about this. I haven't done this for quite some time, and I always struggle with it. So this bunker bite was a bit trickier than I was expecting. Like I said, I started during slack tide, and I knew it wouldn't be red hot, but I figured with the amount of marks I was seeing, I'd get a lot more action. But very, sparse in terms of fish willing to take the bunker, and a lot of them would grab it and just spit it right out. And once it was hit and the bunker was dead, a lot of them would not want to come back to get it. So I ended up, trying this for a good hour while the tide was slack and having very lackluster results. I ended up trying to collect a few more bunker as the ones I did have, went bad. And eventually, once that tide did switch to incoming, things did start to pick up a bit. I will also say, self-admittedly, I don't do this kind of fishing a lot, so not my general cup of tea. I missed quite a few fish, and it took a while for me to get used to the setting. This is actually the first time I used this rod and reel combo for this type of fishing, so definitely a bit rusty, shaking off the cobwebs and getting used to it, but good practice, I suppose. Getting down to the wire. If I can't make fish bite now, it's going to be really difficult to get anything. It's back. It's a good fish. This has been one of the most finicky bunker bites I have ever been on in my life. But at least we're getting something. Oh yeah, that's a nice fish. It's a chunky fish. Probably like high 30s inches, that is. Some fins. It's like 36, 37. Get the revive and we'll get on our way. He's biting down pretty good. See you, buddy. All right, well, we finally landed a fish on the bunker. I got one more lively one left and one that's pretty beat up, but let's give it a shot. I'm happy to just round this out with a few fish if they're all quality. I'm not opposed to throwing the lure again, but if I get the same kind of response this time and as the last drop, we're just gonna stick with bunker, use up what we got. See if there's more willing participants down there. Bass are definitely stacked. Oh, we're already on. Take it. Take it. Got it. Come back for it. Come back. That last one took my bunker, so it's the last piece and it's dead, but these fish are pretty fired up right now. So I did have that one last piece of bunker after missing that fish. However, it was beat up from an earlier fish and it was quite dead. And I did try drifting it for like 2 drifts, but I could not get a legitimate hit or one that would stay on it. So after a while, I decided just to toss that piece and try with lures for the last 15 minutes I had. But fortunately, we had some very good luck. A school of bunker did go by, and while I didn't snag one or keep one snagged, I did notice one that was injured on the surface of the water, and I made sure to take full advantage of it. Yoink. Divine intervention, right? Let's try this one more time, and then we're getting out of here. Catch something big right now. That's like just total serendipity right there. But let's see what we can do. This is it. I can't fish anymore after this. He's already on it. Already on it. Alright, yeah, that's the fish to end on. That's the fish to end on. Big old bunker bass. Good fish. Man, these bunkers are saving the day. That's a good fish. Oh yeah, that's the fish to go out on. Perfect hook set. Yes, sir. Oh. Oh God. Best of the season at the very least. Little bent, but he's just about almost 40. Oh, well, he's ready to go. All right, we're gonna have to end it on that fish. I'd love to stay, but I got a hard deadline to get out. I got some things I need to handle this afternoon, so that's a good note to go out on. About a 40-inch striper. Got him on the bunker. It's kind of the way it is, I guess, sometimes. You know, if they're not hitting the lures, you got to move on to bait. I think if this tide was running earlier, this incoming like it was last time I was in this neck of the woods, the bass would have been more likely to bite the lure right from the get-go, but it is what it is. That being said, obviously always have a plan B if things don't go the way you wanted. I really just said bass or bust today, so it's nice to get those few nice fish. Additionally, I'm just dying of thirst right now, so you know what time it is. Time for our seltzer review of the day, and we are going Good and Gather caffeinated cherry cola sparkling water. They had me at caffeinated, but I'm sticking for the cherry cola. I'm definitely for it. I said you don't get a lot of cherry, but here we are with another cherry beverage. This one I definitely rate ahead with the caffeine and not being too sweet. This is an easy 8.8, let's say. Not full 9, but overall pretty good. But yeah, I apologize, it's not non-stop action, but we made it work while we could. Those fish were very finicky during the slack tide. I could not make those fish bite. They barely even wanted to touch the bunker, which tells you it was tough. If I had more time, I'd be out here for at least another 2 hours. But like I said, life calls. So that's going to have to do it. You'll probably see a lot of fluke in the horizon. I'm not sure how many more of these bass sessions we'll have with this water warming up to sub 72 degrees right now. And it's not even the middle of the day. So hopefully they stick around for a little while longer. But if not, we had a good run while it lasted. I'll catch you the next one. Goodbye from fishing.